Hey everybody, Brian here with Anita Goodesign, and today I'm going to give you a quick introduction to the material called Mylar and how we use it as applique at Anita Goodesign. So we've set up an example for you here. I have multiple hoopings going through the different steps of how we've digitized for Mylar, and we're going to go ahead and break that down for you. But first, if you're not sure what Mylar is, it's basically the same thing that balloon material you've probably seen at grocery stores or Party City over the years. That material is Mylar, the shiny balloons. So there's also Mylar you can use as applique in the hoop. And that is what I would like to show you. So we've set this example up using a collection of ours that we came out with years ago called Springtime Sparkle. It's a quilting collection, but it's using Mylar as the applique. So don't let the collection throw you off. It doesn't have to be on a quilt block like it is in this collection. It is just applique we're going over. So we've already done our appliques with the Mylar for the ribbon and for the basket, and we're now getting into doing the Mylar for the actual turtle. So just like standard applique, we're going to start with a placement stitch. Once we do that placement stitch, we're going to come over and do our tack down stitch. Now, we've obviously placed the Mylar. There is no right or wrong side typically to Mylar. But when we tack this, what's important to know is that it is a non-woven material. Therefore, when we stitch on it, it can actually draw in pretty heavily. And if that's the case, we're going to wait to trim, which it is for Mylar. So with all this excess around the edges, we will wait to trim that because this is where the special digitizing for Mylar comes in. So since it is a non-woven material, it's not porous, it's non-woven, it does have the ability to actually perforate and rip and tear and fall out because those needle holes are going to be really close when you do dent stitching. So what we do is we do a really wide fill stitch on top of the actual Mylar applique, and that's going to hold it down. We prefer to use a coordinating thread. Me personally, I like to use metallic threads that match the Mylar because metallic threads are typically Mylar based too. So once we've gone ahead and done the actual fill stitch on that, you can see that we had trimmed. Then comes in the finish stitch. Now, this is just like standard applique as well. We have our actual satin stitch finishing off around the edge of the actual Mylar applique for the turtle. And then you just run through any additional steps. You can see here with the finish block, we have all three of our actual Mylars tacked down. They all have the fill stitches coordinating with the actual color of the Mylar we put down as well. So the only real difference between Mylar applique and standard applique is that we digitize that fill stitch to go on top. So it is important to note that you can't just use Mylar wherever you want. It does need to have that fill stitch to help hold it down. But stay tuned for other videos where we'll dive more into tips and tricks in regards to Mylar. Hope you enjoyed this video today and can't wait to see what you do with it.